In Indian pharmaceutical sales, closing the call and gaining commitment, now that's a crucial step in building strong, lasting professional relationships. Let's see how this simple process can truly shape success for every medical representative out there. This is the moment when a meaningful conversation with a doctor or pharmacist actually turns into real action. When the discussion is done well, it leads to progress, not just for the professional, but for the patient too. You know, the word closing is often misunderstood. Many people imagine it's some high-pressure sales trick like in retail or consumer sales. But in healthcare, it's something else entirely. In Indian pharma sales, gaining commitment isn't about pressure at all. It's the natural and ethical result of a valuable clinical conversation built on trust and mutual respect. First, let's quickly look at some traditional closing techniques. Knowing these helps us see why the professional approach in pharma is so different and so much more effective. The assumptive close is when the sales professional acts as if the decision is already made and just moves forward with the next steps. For example, asking, "Shall I arrange delivery to your clinic or your hospital?" That assumes the doctor has already agreed. This style is common in many industries. The urgency close tries to create a sense of urgency, suggesting that a special offer or benefit is available only for a limited time. The Ben Franklin close helps the customer list out the pros and cons, making the decision feel logical and clear. But in Indian pharma sales, these traditional methods usually don't work. In fact, they can break the trust that's so important in our profession. Doctors make clinical decisions, not consumer choices. Using pressure shows disrespect for their expertise and for their duty to patients. These methods target the wrong decision process. Prescribing is slow, careful, and based on evidence, not quick emotions. Most importantly, they can damage long-term trust. In India, pharmaceutical sales is about building strong scientific partnerships for the future. The modern approach is different. The goal isn't just to get a prescription, it's to move the relationship forward, step by step. The foundation is optimism. The best medical representatives truly believe that every doctor can be convinced with the right approach and a positive attitude. A negative mindset says, "This doctor will never prescribe." But a positive mindset says, "Maybe my explanation wasn't clear today. I'll try a better way next time." The most respectful way is to ask directly and professionally. After discussing the benefits, just ask for the commitment you planned.
Doctor, we've agreed that for your elderly patients, the risk of low blood pressure at night is a real concern, and our medicine offers a clear safety benefit. May I request you to try our brand for your next 3 suitable patients this week?
Another approach is to offer a choice between 2 good options, both based on sound medical reasoning.
Doctor, for which of your patients do you feel this therapy's benefits are most urgent? Those newly diagnosed with high blood pressure, or those not controlled with current medicines?
Sometimes, after a really positive conversation, you can simply assume the next step and move forward with confidence.
Doctor, I'm glad we agree on the value this brings to your post-surgery patients. I'll visit the hospital pharmacy this afternoon to make sure we have enough stock for your needs.
For senior doctors or those who are cautious, the best way is to secure a commitment to continue the conversation and move to the next stage.
Doctor, I understand you want to review the full clinical data. Would it help if I arrange a short call next week with our medical science liaison, who can explain the entire study?
For managers, it's important to make the commitment objective a regular part of every sales plan. Write it down and make it a habit. Managers should coach their teams to stay positive, not just follow techniques. After a missed opportunity, ask what could be done better next time. After every call, the main question isn't, "Did you get a yes?" but, "Did you ask for the commitment with confidence and professionalism?" By appreciating the effort, managers help their teams overcome fear and build a culture where everyone is confident to ask for what they've earned. 2.7. Follow up and building long-term professional relationships. In strategic execution of professional sales, the most common and costly error is the orphaned call, a well-conducted detail that is never followed up on. The ultimate objective is not to win a single prescription. It is to cultivate a portfolio of high-value, long-term professional relationships. Such relationships are resilient to competitive incursions and create a sustainable, defensible advantage. The theoretical underpinning, relationship marketing. This concept is grounded in business theory, prioritizing customer retention and long-term engagement. Harvard professor Theodore Levitt stated, "The purpose of a business is to create and keep a customer. Acquiring a new customer can cost 5 to 10 times more than retaining an existing one." This theory is hyper-relevant to pharmaceuticals, where a physician decision to adopt new therapy is a longitudinal process, not an event. The psychological hurdle, the stretch, and the fear of intrusion. Why do professionals fail at this critical stage? The follow-up can feel like being a pest or annoying. A follow-up that is self-serving is an intrusion. However, a follow-up that delivers on a promise or provides new relevant value is the fulfillment of a professional contract. It is precisely within this stretch that professional relationships are truly boldened. It is the clearest signal that you are a dedicated professional partner. The 3P framework, a protocol for professional follow-up. A follow-up must be purposeful, punctual, and personalized. Purposeful. Every follow-up must have a clear, value-adding reason that benefits the recipient. Punctual. Reliability is the currency of trust. It must be executed within the promised timeframe. Personalized. It must explicitly reference the specific context of the previous conversation, demonstrating active listening and genuine engagement. Application across key stakeholders, the individual HCP. Scenario. Dr. Mehta expressed concern about renal side effects with your new anti-inflammatory drug. Basic follow-up. Doctor, I wanted to follow up on your concern about renal safety. I have brought the detailed nephrology data from our Phase 3 trials. Relationship boldening follow-up. I have arranged a 15-minute call with Dr. Sharma, our lead nephrologist, who can walk you through the renal safety profile and answer your specific questions about your patient population. The institutional stakeholder, hospital pharmacy head. Scenario. You submitted your high-cost antibiotic for formulary inclusion. Mrs. Iyer expressed concerns about budget impact. Basic follow-up. Mrs. Iyer, I wanted to follow up on the formulary submission. I have brought the detailed pharmacoeconomic analysis showing the cost per cure advantage. Relationship boldening. I have prepared a customized budget impact model based on your hospital-patient mix, and can arrange a call with our health economics team to discuss flexible pricing options. The channel partner, the distributor. Scenario, key distributor. Mr. Gupta told you that your brand is moving slower than a competitor in a particular zone. Basic follow-up. Mr. Gupta, I wanted to follow up on the slow movement in the North Zone. I have brought additional promotional materials and a revised discount structure. Relationship boldening. I have analyzed the zone-wise prescription data and identified 3 specific hospitals where we can jointly conduct physician education programs to drive demand. Management imperative. Systemizing the stretch. Reframe the metric. The CRM must track not just follow-up done, but value-added follow-up executed. Coach the courage to stretch. In post-call debriefs, ask, what is the standard follow-up here? What would a relationship boldening follow-up look like? Celebrate the boldening moments. When a rep shares how their stretch follow-up led to a doctor calling them for advice, that story must be celebrated in team meetings. 2.8. Mastering B2. B Pharma sales, the institutional customer. The landscape of modern healthcare, particularly in urban India, is increasingly dominated by organized institutions. These include corporate hospital chains, large multi-specialty nursing homes, and government public sector undertakings. Engaging these institutions is a fundamentally different discipline. It is a true business-to-business sale, requiring significant upgrade in strategic thinking and financial acumen. The foundational shift, from individual prescriber to the buying center. The buying center describes the cross-departmental group of individuals who participate in a purchasing decision. In a hospital, you are not selling to a doctor. You are selling through a doctor to a complex buying center. An institution decision is a complex matrix of clinical, economic, and operational priorities, mapping the hospital buying center in India. The clinician, the user and influencer, senior doctors, heads of departments, and specialists who will actually use the drug. Their primary concern, clinical outcomes. Will this drug produce a better, safer, or faster result for my patients? The hospital pharmacist, the gatekeeper, the chief pharmacist or pharmacy head. Their primary concern, operational efficiency and logistics. Is this drug easy to store? Is the supply chain reliable? How will it fit into our inventory management system? The hospital administrator, the decider, the medical superintendent, CEO or unit head. Their primary concern, system efficiency and reputation. Will this drug improve our hospital KPIs like average length of stay? Will it enhance our reputation as a center of excellence? The finance procurement officer, the buyer, the purchase manager or finance head. Their primary concern, economic value and cost effectiveness. What is the total cost of this therapy? Does it offer better return on investment? A strategic framework for institutional selling. Step 1. Account profiling and needs analysis. Go beyond identifying the hospital. What is its specialty? What is its business model? Example. A rep targeting a newly opened high-end cardiac hospital in Lucknow would hypothesize that the institution key priority is establishing reputation for cutting-edge care. Step 2. Stakeholder mapping and influence analysis. Map out individuals who fit into the buying center roles for a specific drug. The goal is to understand the flow of influence. Often, the procurement manager will not approve a drug unless cleared by the Pharmacy and Therapeutics Committee. Step 3. Crafting the institutional value proposition. This requires creating a tailored value proposition for each member of the buying center. Case study. Selling a new, high-cost antibiotic at 1,500 rupees per dose versus a generic at 200 rupees per dose. For the surgeon, doctor, our antibiotic has a 95% success rate against resistant post-op pathogens, leading to better patient outcomes and fewer complications. For the pharmacist, our antibiotic comes in a ready-to-infuse format, which reduces the chance of nursing errors and saves pharmacy prep time. For the administrator, by preventing complications, our antibiotic reduces average hospital stay by 1.5 days, improving bed turnover rate and overall throughput. For the finance officer, while the per-dose cost is higher, the reduction in hospital stay translates to a net saving of approximately 22,000 rupees per treated patient. Here is the detailed pharmacoeconomic model. Step 4. The multi-pronged engagement plan. A plan must be developed to engage different stakeholders over time, using different resources from your company. Example, the local MR builds strong relationships with junior doctors and pharmacists. The area sales manager engages with the hospital administrator to present the business case. The company medical science liaison is brought in for high-level scientific discussion with the HOD. It is a coordinated team effort. Management imperative, coaching for business acumen. Elevate financial literacy. Managers must ensure teams can read budgets, understand ROI, and build basic business cases. Coach strategic patience. Institutional sales are a long game. The sales cycle can be 6-12 months. Managers must set appropriate expectations and reward strategic progress. Foster team-based selling. Break the lone wolf mentality. Coach teams on leveraging internal resources to present a unified, powerful front to institutional customers. By mastering this B2B approach, a sales organization moves from simply selling products to forging deep symbiotic partnerships with the most important healthcare providers. 2.9. The organizational hierarchy in pharmaceutical sales. The professional sales process does not occur in a vacuum. It is supported by a structured organizational hierarchy. This structure is a sophisticated system designed for efficient cascade of strategy downwards and aggregation of market intelligence upwards. The model is built on the management principle of span of control, where each manager is responsible for 5-8 direct reports, ensuring effective coaching. Level 1, the foundation, medical representative. Alternative titles include professional service representative, business executive, medical information officer. Primary role, the foundational frontline execution role. The MR is the direct interface between the company and healthcare professional. Key responsibilities: achieving sales targets, conducting quality calls on targeted HCPs, building relationships with chemists, submitting accurate DCRs, collecting competitor intelligence. Level 2, the first line of management, area business manager. The ABM is the most critical coaching and development role in the entire hierarchy. Scope of operations, an area or district, typically comprising 4 8 MR territories, such as the entire city of Lucknow and surrounding towns. Key responsibilities: ensuring area sales targets, conducting joint fieldwork, developing KOL relationships, managing distributors, recruiting and training. Mrs. Managerial focus, tactical coaching and skill development. The ABM primary value is created during in-clinic coaching, refining detailing and objection handling skills. Level 3. The Manager of Managers, Regional Business Manager. The RBM manages a team of first-line managers, shifting from tactical coaching to broader operational management. Scope of operations, a region, which is a collection of 8 areas, such as the entire region of Eastern Uttar Pradesh. Key responsibilities: regional sales performance, coaching ABMs into leaders, allocating budgets, managing large distributors, leading hiring processes. Managerial focus, operational management and business planning. The RBM ensures all areas are aligned, resourced and performing according to business plan. Level 4. The Strategic Leader, Zonal Business Manager. A senior-level manager responsible for strategic direction of a large multi-state zone. Scope of operations, a zone, collection of 8 regions, such as the North Zone comprising Uttar Pradesh, Delhi, Punjab and Uttarakhand. Key responsibilities: full P&L ownership, translating national strategy into zonal execution, managing institutional accounts, engaging national KOLs, talent planning. Managerial focus, strategic deployment and market development. The ZBM develops strategies for 1-3-year growth beyond the current quarter. Level 5. The Apex, National Sales Manager. The NSM is at the apex of the sales hierarchy, setting vision, direction and strategy for entire country sales operations. Scope of operations, the entire nation. Key responsibilities: ultimate accountability for national sales budget, collaborating with marketing on strategy, designing sales force structure, creating compensation plans, presenting to board. Managerial focus, strategic vision and organizational leadership. The NSM creates the culture, strategy and structure that enables the entire pyramid to succeed. Management imperative. For an aspiring manager, this hierarchy represents a clear pathway for growth. At each successive level, the focus shifts from direct control to broader influence, from tactical coaching to strategic direction, from managing individuals to leading complex business. An effective manager at any level understands their specific role within this system and excels at executing strategy from above and channeling intelligence back up the chain. 2.10 The Organizational Hierarchy and B2B Command Chains. Success in pharmaceutical industry is about orchestrating interactions across two complex organizational hierarchies. The professional sales manager must possess a deep, almost architectural understanding of these structures. Mastering this organizational mapping is a prerequisite for any significant B2B success. Part A. The pharmaceutical company's sales hierarchy. This structure is designed for efficient cascade of strategy downwards and aggregation of market intelligence upwards. Level 1. Medical representative. Executes tactical plan and call objectives set by the ABM. Responsibility: on-the-ground implementation and micro-level market event reporting. Level 2. Area business manager. Directs MSR team daily activities, sets call objectives. Responsibility: team development, area targets, synthesizing, MR reports for RBM. Level 3. Regional business manager. Sets operational priorities and resource allocation for ABMs. Responsibility: regional P&L, coaching ABMs, escalating market trends to ZBM. Level 4. Zonal business manager. Translates national strategy into zonal action plan. Responsibility: zonal P&L ownership, institutional account strategy, strategic forecasting. Level 5. National sales manager. Sets national sales strategy, targets, organizational structure. Responsibility: ultimate accountability for country sales performance and strategic market view. Part B. The hospital procurement hierarchy. This is the command chain that pharma sales teams must influence. It is often less linear and more committee-driven. Step 1. The initial request. The user. A senior clinician or head of department who wants to use a new non-formulary drug based on clinical evidence. Step 2. The clinical evaluation. The gatekeeper. The Pharmacy and Therapeutics Committee, the most critical decision-making body in India, typically composed of medical superintendent as chairperson, chief pharmacist, several senior HODs from key departments like cardiology, oncology, surgery. Role: to evaluate the new drug based on clinical efficacy, safety, and therapeutic advantage. They answer: is this drug medically necessary and superior to existing options? Step 3. The economic evaluation. The buyer. The procurement or purchase department, often consulting with finance department. Role: once P&T provides positive clinical recommendation, this department conducts economic evaluation, negotiates price, finalizes contracts. They answer: can we afford it at the best price? Step 4. The final approval. The decider. The CEO or unit head of the hospital for high-value or strategically important decisions. Role: final sign-off required from top administrative authority, who ratifies the decision of P&T committee and finance department. Strategic alignment, bridging the two hierarchies. The art of institutional selling lies in aligning your organization hierarchy with the customer hierarchy. A manager must coach their team to ensure that the right level of their organization is engaging with the appropriate level of the customer organization. Example: the MR builds relationships with individual clinicians and junior staff, focusing on clinical benefits and day-to-day operational support. The ABM engages with P&T committee members, presenting comprehensive clinical evidence and addressing formulary inclusion requirements. The RBM works with procurement departments on pricing negotiations, contract terms, and supply chain logistics. The ZBM engages with hospital executives on strategic partnerships, system-wide implementations, and long-term value propositions. This requires an orchestrated multi-level approach where each level of the pharma organization has specific roles and responsibilities in the institutional sale. Information must flow seamlessly up and down both hierarchies, ensuring that decision-makers at each level have the intelligence they need. The timing of engagements must be carefully coordinated to support the customer decision-making process rather than overwhelm it. Success is measured not just by individual interactions, but by the overall progression of the institutional relationship through the decision hierarchy. Management excellence in B2B requires coaching teams to think strategically about organizational dynamics, not just individual relationships. Managers must develop institutional intelligence, understanding how decisions really get made within complex healthcare organizations. Effective resource allocation ensures that the right expertise and seniority is deployed at each stage of the institutional sales process. The ultimate goal is creating sustainable strategic partnerships that benefit both organizations and ultimately improve patient care. Mastering these organizational dynamics transforms pharmaceutical sales from transactional interactions to strategic business partnerships. Organizations that excel at this level of strategic alignment create sustainable competitive advantages in the institutional marketplace. Ultimately, this professional excellence in B2B pharmaceutical sales ensures that innovative therapies reach patients through the most efficient and effective channels. For pharmaceutical business students, understanding these hierarchical dynamics is essential for building successful careers in this complex and rewarding industry.